Hey there, this is Mr. Icarus, and welcome to yet another edition of Doom Mod Madness. This time round, we're checking out ModOhFun, a very unusually titled mod, a randomizer style mod in fact, that switches up Doom in a variety of strange and unusual ways. First that you'll probably notice is the fact that the pistol here fires at a rather accelerated pace. Secondly, this shotgun fires gore. Doesn't fire bullets, it fires gore. Rather effective when you're considering you're just firing blood and guts at an increased velocity into demons' faces. We've also got a selection of chain gun variants here as well. This blinged out example fires enraged imps. Yes, you heard me right. Gotta be careful with this little puppy as well. If you stand a little too close to your enemies when you fire it, the enraged imps will lash out in confusion and also scratch you up a little bit too. So best handled at arm's length or further in most scenarios. You may have also noticed that there's something slightly unusual about the enemies you'll encounter here as well, including these grey imps which can send out weird clone shadow versions of themselves. Also trees. There are trees, animated trees that wish to murder you in this mod. We're just getting started. Honestly, it's just going to keep on getting stranger from this point inwards, especially with regards to enemy varieties. The way this mod works is it'll single out a specific enemy type and just wholesale replace them with another weird variant, so you'll get shotgunners that fire explosive shotguns, weirdly thin mancubuses, and I don't even know what's going on here. Those are sentient plasma balls. I'm clearly not caffeinated enough for this mod. Where's my goddamn tea? The chainsaw doesn't escape the strangeness here either. Rather than just ripping and tearing at close range, this is now a Commander Keen sacrificer. So it shoots Commander Keens, who then swiftly die when they hit the enemies, which causes the enemies to die. My brain ain't processing this as well as it should be. But yes, there are also shotgun shell enemies that fire shotgun shells and explode into guts when you kill them. I'm honestly struggling to comprehend half of the stuff that's going on the average level, which is fantastic because that's the point. That is the point of a completely and utterly absurd mod such as this, and on that front it is a thorough success. I don't know why that exploded, but fuck it. Basically, this is a mod that forces you to expect the unexpected, and it will completely blindside you, especially on the first few playthroughs. A lot of the things that are popping up here are still new to me, and this weapon is certainly helping. That's a pillar that fires lost souls. What? Okay. I'm glad that we had the dual chain guns here at the very least to take care of that particular business. But yeah, this is certainly not the kind of mod you play for the sake of balance or challenge. This is the kind of mod that you play just to occasionally say, the fuck? And it will certainly elicit that reaction from you. And you're gonna have to play it over a fair number of levels as well if you want to see all of the crazy varieties that this has in store. That's a new one. Don't think I've ever been attacked by a monster spawner before, so yeah. Oh, and it explodes and damages you when it dies. Because of course it does. It's obvious really, I mean, duh. I'd say that this mod certainly has a cumulative effect on you if you play it for any length of time. It's not like Doom Hack, where it's just, oh my good grief, what the fuck is that? Was that a disembodied Doom Guy head with just damage numbers swirling around it? This is what I'm talking about right here. Doom Hack was compressed, condensed insanity. A very short, compressed period of time. You experience all sorts of anime-related ocular retardation, but here it's spaced out. It takes a little while to experience everything, but nonetheless, it builds upon the last what the fuck moment to the next what the fuck moment, and I still can't get over that floating Doom Guy head. That is horrifying. And if that wasn't enough, I'm also being casually assaulted by an oversized imp over the way that appears to be shooting... yeah, it's pretty much shooting rainbow orbs at me. Fabulous, indeed. But if there's one enemy that regularly, consistently catches me off guard, it's the possessed armor. And it's because I never honestly expect regular old armor to want to attack me. But if you see a red piece of armor, shoot it. just shoot it, otherwise it's going to pelt you in fireballs. And they often come in groups. I believe they do get replaced from the regular old imps. And they can kind of sneak up on you because you're always thinking, ooh, piece of armor. That's handy. And then it shoots you in the friggin' face. Not very handy. Not very handy indeed. Also, I think I figured out what the deal is with the blue pinkies. Actually, that name doesn't really make any sense. The pinkies are pinkies because of the pink. I'll just call this a bluey. But basically, if you let them too close to you, they will in fact blow up and deal you a little bit of damage. But if you keep them at a fair enough distance, you can just kill them normal style. Also, yes, that is an Archvile. Archvile is no less a son of a bitch in this than any other version of Doom. It can move around very fast as a lost soul form, and when it's moving around normally, it inexplicably turns into a regular soldier-type sprite. It's odd. Oh hey, bet you can't guess what this rocket launcher fires. Yep, that's right, Cacodemons. It fires Cacodemons. I unconditionally love this rocket launcher. I just wish I had enough rockets in the thing to actually show you what the alt fire is, because I would have loved to have used it on the giant freaking angry revenant that's currently exploding, because it fires a giant Cacodemon with the alt fire, which poops fireballs as it travels on the line of its trajectory. It's great. It's great. I could disregard everything else about this mod as long as I got to keep the Cacodemon rocket launcher. That's 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 right there. Flying shotguns. They fire shotguns. And then explode into shotguns. The fuck? Anyway, I should probably introduce you to the rest of the weaponry here, such as this thing. I honestly don't know how to describe it. It may look like it's firing plasma, but it's still taking from the shotgun ammo pool, and it looks like about 3 or 4 different shotguns just smashed together. So yeah, there's that. There's also the rapid fire super shotgun, which you can also use an alt fire with that fires all shells loaded into it, which as you can see are probably about, I don't know, 11 or 12 pairs of shells at once. So pretty powerful, if only the spread was a bit more extreme. We've also got the chainmail gun. Because why settle for the slow recharging original when you can have this rapid fire monster right here? We've already dealt with the blinged out imp launcher, as we have with the dual chain guns, but we haven't dealt with the flame wall here. Now, this one was slightly disappointing because it didn't have the same design as the Rise of the Triad flame launcher. It just feels a little lazy, but then again, we've always got the Cackle Launcher. And as I mentioned earlier, yes, you can in fact launch a giant Caco that poops fireballs and makes everyone explode. It's great. The evil eye here is a bit weird to use. It doesn't really seem to fire any kind of projectile. It just kind of spawns an explosion on whatever you aim it at. It does have an alt fire as well, just a slightly more powerful explosion. But yeah, kind of strange to use. But at the very least, it still makes tiny mancubuses that fire barrels die. And oh wait, no, that sound. Jeez, right. This thing always catches me off guard. It'll occasionally just descend from the heavens. I'm not sure what triggers it. Maybe it's the mini mancubus, but you'll get a multi-barrel cluster explosion that can just pretty much obliterate you if you're stood too close to it. And that was an insane spider mastermind. Can you see why I had a little bit of trouble trying to cover this? Because it's just so much weird shit. Weird shit left, right, and center. I'm holding a plasma orb here that fires more plasma. And fires a plasma gun as an alt that rains plasma on enemies that you've aimed it at. What the hell? And now I'm being attacked by a BFG. You just can't plan for this. You can't anticipate this. You just have to roll with the punches. And now we finally land on... I don't even know what that did. And I guess we'll never know. So what exactly is going on with this weapon here? Well, it actually flings enemies up into the air and immobilizes them. So, yeah, definitely not your typical BFG-style weapon. In fact, it's probably a better idea to use this to immobilize large groups of enemies and then switch to something more damaging, because this doesn't really seem to deal all that much direct damage. I mean, sure, you pelt them enough with it, it will kill an enemy, but switching to something like this is a much better idea, and yeah, that first experience just confused the hell out of me. Anyway, before I sign off on this one, I thought I'd show you a few last bizarre bits and pieces, such as the giant mancubus here that is just perpetually farting and can fling its ass gas at you before puking corpses at you. Wonderful. Fantastic. Also, this thing. I don't know how to describe this. I literally do not have the words to describe the enemy that I'm looking at here or what it does. As pretty much a microcosm of this mod in general, I lack the adequate words to fully explain the vast swathes of strangeness that occur within this particular mod. And all I can say is, if you want to give it a whirl yourself, if you want to have the sensation of your brain quite possibly dribbling out of your nose, then you could do far worse than give ModOhFun a spin for yourself. And I appear to have a power-up that makes my punches psychic. I can now punch people from a distance. Awesome. But yeah, don't go into this expecting any sort of balance or any kind of fairness from the enemy roster that you'll be up against here. It will pretty much break whatever map pack that you're gonna plug into it. Any sense of flow between enemy encounters will be completely and comprehensively stomped on, but still, it is worth checking out, if not for the complete baffling weirdness of the entire experience itself. And the link for that, if you're interested, is of course in the description below. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. At the very least, I hope it was vaguely coherent. Feel free to let me know what you thought in the comments, and feel free to suggest any mods you'd like to see me cover in future episodes of Doom Mod Madness. This has been Mr. Icarus, fighting evil BFGs and stretchy barons of hell. Thank you very much for watching. Icarus out.